Oh no, he's alive! He's alive! I think Soundwave's gaining sentience! Watch out! Watch out!
Ugh, calamity. On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, we're checking out one of my favorites, Soundwave. LEGO Transformers Soundwave is on the table. And this is kind of a big important one, as we've got the debut of the all-new LEGO Sound Brick, which is a perfect match for Soundwave, right? So it's like an all-new brick that makes noise and sounds. We've got light bricks in the past, but sound, this is the first. And finally, this gives me the opportunity to correct a huge Squirrel Stampede blunder, and that is, why have I not built the LEGO Transformers Optimus Prime yet? What happened there as a huge Optimus Prime collector? That was a huge fail. So finally with Soundwave here, I can get Prime out too. So you have to see this bot. You have to see how LEGO built their bricks with the Transformium to create this amazing Soundwave. Follow in as I show you everything it can do.
Squirrel Stampede.
Please
Squash share.
You may be confused by the warning label, but this is actually a LEGO Icons model, Transformers Soundwave. A recommended 18 and up build, set number 10358, 1,505 pieces. This is the third official Transformers model built by LEGO, and I'm all in. It's a fantastic choice of a very, very legendary Decepticon, and one of the funnest, as he can convert to a tape deck, which can disguise nice and cleverly behind a bookshelf or something. And that first ever sound brick. Another priority reason to check out this build. So while we debate which Transformer could be up and coming next, let's just get this one open and start to build. Inside the box, a very foldy booko instructions. It's funny, sometimes they hold these up in nice paper bags and sometimes they just let them loose and get all roughed up. I kind of wish they kept this nicer. Often with the fancy sets we get a little history here, which shows off the first Optimus Prime and a Bumblebee, which I've yet to even look for. And of course, Soundwave superior, Autobots inferior. Great quote from Soundwave. And some various new information on that brand new sound brick with a Soundwave, perfect match to start. Some classic looks at my favorite generation, G1 Soundwave right there. Ooh, did we get a teal brick separator, I wonder? And then we're gonna be kept up late by a lot of building. I've got maybe 360 steps to go just to get him into cassette robot mode. Bags of pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 bags of pieces, plus the all-new Fine and Mighty sound brick, and a few stickers to dress him up. Lots and lots to do. Where's bag 1? I think with bag 1, we're starting with the cassettes, either Laserbeak or Ravage. What do you think? What do you think? I'm seeing some red in there, so I'm thinking it's probably gonna be Laserbeak first. Ooh, teal brick separator. And so lots of parts and pieces to start us on our journey. What is it? Is it Transformium bricks? What was in Transformers 4? Age of Extinction? Transformium, I think. Alright, well let me kind of figure out what's in here. We're gonna piece together something that looks like this. Oh, what is that? We've built a little micro build of Soundwave's cassette player alt mode already with Ravage tape installed, and we can switch it out with Laserbeak if we wanted to play that tape. That's a fun little accessory build there to start us off, and nice and tiny. I love how Soundwave is able to manipulate his mass so. And so now, what's else in the pile? And I'm pretty sure Laserbeak is in here somewhere. Let's get this cassette birdie built. And constructed Laserbeak Soundwave's birdie minion. Kind of a strange start to the build right now with backpack armor shooters and transformed into full-on pterodactyl flying bird thing. And then of course can fold back down and convert into cassette somewhat fragilely. I'm having a little bit of issues with the wings popping off, but other than that, pretty neat looking. Not sure where these are gonna go, and in fact they just popped off the lower back structure. So there's probably a few little brick built issues we're gonna have to work through. I love the head fold up, that works pretty well. And then the wings again, just tuck them in, they're a little bit tricky. These feet are a little tricky, but you know what, it's brick, so that's always a challenge over a hinged, professionally made Transformer. Looking good for our first cassette build, Laserbeak is. Bag 2 then must be Ravage. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Usually Ravage back in the day, the more popular. And so let's see what a Ravage looks constructed like. And a built and constructed cute little Ravage. Oh, what a cute little kitty cat. I think I can close his legs in more, can't I? There we go. Looking good. And we've got backpack bombers. How do these things clip on in? Oh, they're just gonna post on in the back there for his extra weapon attachments. So yeah, I certainly like this one a little bit better than I did Laserbeak, mainly because of the character. Ravage is so awesome. Quick tape transformation. Pop off the weapons again, they just don't assemble well, and I mean that's kind of how it was back in the day too with the Soundwave's minions. The weapons never sat on them. Fold up the head here over to the back and the tail. And then there you'll want to flatten out his body, his legs on out, getting him nice and flat somehow. And then there start tucking in all those legs and pieces onto the side to kind of build a little rectangular cassette. I'm thinking the cassette build for Laserbeak looked just a little bit better, but that's a tall order to be able to transform any sort of brick. And so now we can go to bag 3 and start building our bot of sound. So we'll just kind of go individually what happens after you build each bag. So what are we gonna get? There it is. What did I just build? I think it's the play button, but it doesn't have really anything back there. And I gotta get some legs under there as well. So it's a start though, it's a start. If it starts looking like Soundwave, let me know. So we slide on over and we slide over to bag 4. Oh, there's a lot of pieces in this one. This has gotta be some tape deck guts. How to play a cassette player 101. Ooh, what's this? What's this? Whoa, this isn't the sound brick already, is it? It's got a little play button on it. No way! Oh my gosh. It's like almost full stereo or something. That is a very clean and clear sounding sound brick. And it's like loaded. That's like at least 6 sounds now. Oh, this is so terrific. I can't believe how clean it is. It's so clean. Okay, so let's get back to the build. We can play with that a lot more, and let's see what all this does with that. And so that now looks like this now. Wait, did I build a tricorder? No, I just built the back deck of the cassette player of Soundwave. You can see his legs would be down here and this back wall. And most importantly though, the sound brick has been embedded and then sealed, and then when I hit the play button, we're getting some awesome sound. I honestly can't believe how loud this is coming out. It's impressive, and it's really sturdy so far. Looking good, Soundwave, looking good. Let's finish up that back torso deck now with bag 5. And I had thought this was the sound brick, but it's actually the front screen for the deck, I believe. They want to keep it nice and shiny. Oh, look at that. Beautiful Decepticon logo on that. We want to white glove that for sure. You guys good keeping that safe over here, please? Pretty good Transformers and a Lego. Actually a pretty good combo because they're so blocky. Got everything going on here. Basically, there's a button up top to open up the cassette deck. Nice and smooth. These arm flanges that rotate around for the arms. And then the play button. So now we really got to get into it with the arms. We got to make this cassette player a robot. So bag 6 and bag 7 will build us some arms. They look pretty technical, so I'll just give it a quick tap here. I think there's a secret button right here. Whoa, what's happening? What's happening? Oh no, he's alive! He's alive! I think Soundwave's gaining sentience. Watch out, watch out! Put those arms down, put those arms down! Okay, you back there too. So I think what happened was all of bag 6 was both arms, and then bag 7 started a leg, and bag 8 continued it. And it's huge! This is a huge leg. Bag 9 now is all over the table, which I believe is his other leg. Oh no, he's waking up again. He's waking up again. Let's just pause for a moment and get to the next stage. Oh no, watch out. He's on his feet. He's standing now. There's not much time left. Intense stereo action hitting us. Headphones on, headphones on. This is intense. Well, we blew through a couple more bags. This is our final bag 12, which will finish up Soundwave's head and back piece. But look at there, standing somewhat on 1 foot transformed, almost ready to go. Really quite a fun process with this one. Let's finish up with what we have and see Soundwave in full form. And finished our construction of the LEGO Icons Transformers Soundwave. 100% one of the coolest Transformer bots that I've actually built. Wait, I think you're supposed to have a squirrel attachment up on that deck. Yeah, that looks more correct. So this is the completed Soundwave. They construct these guys tall at about 13 inches in height, perhaps a little more with that squirrel tail up there. Soundwave is constructed fairly sturdy, fairly strong, but a few wobble points too here and there. But that's probably tied into the transformation process. They've got him designed pretty accurate though. I went with the red eyes. I know you can also switch out yellow eyes, which may feel a little more classic, but we have that strong yellow box of cassette player there. His battery pack sound amplifier up on his top shoulder, and just overall general G1 markings throughout on the sticker work and structure work of this great iconic Transformer. For a fun comparison, we can size him up to the recently played with Megazord from Power Rangers, a non-LEGO item. You can see totally now the scale of this LEGO creation, standing very tall up against the Megazord. Check on this review if you get a chance, it's a really fun one. But what I really wanted to compare with was my classic Soundwave. Well, not exactly classic. My G1 Soundwave reissue, a commemorative edition from 2006, a Toys R Us exclusive, and it had one of the coolest boxes ever, a pop-up of Soundwave. So this is the Soundwave that I was able to use as my G1. I believe he's mostly the same, except they gave him an extended tape deck box, so you can actually fit 2 tapes in his chest. So I brought him out to help us because, according to the instructions on page 226, the LEGO build models conversion is directly inspired by the engineering of the original toy. So as we step through the transformation of this new build, we can also check out the transformation of classic. At face value, it looks like they've got it really close. I feel like all the same articulation points are still highlighted. We've got a head that can move around. We have shoulders that can pull out and rotate, double hinged elbows, hands that rotate and open up on finger points, and then some hips and knees and all the degrees to get this guy to work. It's LEGO though, and it's huge, so you kind of expect it to be a little brittle. I think I need to repair his tape deck too, I just noticed. There we go. So step 1 in transformation, let's remove some of the accessories. Sorry, Barry. We'll remove the sound amplifier up top and his hand weapon, which is pieces are his batteries. Straighten you up and we'll remove G1's here. He doesn't need his battery amplifier. So let's see, always start with the hands with Transformers. It's easier that way. We'll rotate him around and then we'll just fold back his hands. Of course, G1 Soundwave arms are the best. They just tuck on into the posts. Now let's go back to the legs here. And the mechanical nature of these feet are really satisfying. They fold up on in, and the foot pads turn into his stereo speakers. They're using those little rubber wheels as foot pads, and they help ground him from slipping off the table. That is one of the most seamless transformations I've seen, and this is LEGO. Folding up his toes, giving a really cool, satisfying clicky sound. LEGO is saying do the arms next, trying to keep this as stable as I can. They should pop off at their sides and hinge back. And I believe you kind of go like this at first. It's like your arms tied behind your back. And before he falls down, let's do the splits. So that means we can repeat the same procedure on the original. Fold these shoulders back. They click into that back panel there. Nice and tight. And then the legs rotate and fold in. And so now we can do the same with this one, rotating its legs on up. And then fold them on up to the main chest, the cassette player. On the back, there should be some clip work going in now, so this back shoulder hinge will clip on into the back foot. Soundwave spent many years as a highly trained yoga master to perform some of these fold-ups. The G1, legs on up too. At this point, there's some lower crotch panels that need to come up. I think this one will rotate. I remember having a little bit trouble building those and getting those right. Flip back around to this side. Let's pull open this back panel here, which this one actually also has in a way. It's just a little different. We'll rotate Soundwave's head around, and we should flip on down and be able to tuck in here seamlessly, hiding his head. Yes, hiding quietly behind that compartment. G1 style, a little simpler. We just crack his head around and down. Leaving this battery cover here to place in his weapons. Oh, he already had his other one in there. I thought this was so classic, being able to place the batteries pretty much right where the batteries would belong on a boombox cassette player. So with the LEGO Soundwave, it's a little more clunky. We're just gonna place his weaponry accessory batteries on either side of him. There's one battery, and there is the other battery. I do like how they gave those a nice little battery top finish. Oh, we can clip in this part of this weapon back here on that little clip. Yeah, that's actually pretty close to the original. I don't think you would really do it any other way because this was one of the most simplistic of G1 transformations. And he looks really good in stereo mode. You could totally have some fun placing this on a bookshelf somewhere inconspicuous. People probably wouldn't even notice that it is a LEGO Transformer. Oh, we have to put in a cassette too. We haven't tried that yet. So there is a button up top. I personally like the look of the red on Laserbeak. I think that one stands out a little bit better and it isn't as clunky as Ravage. So install a little tricky pinching it in between the panels there. Kind of give it a wiggle and he'll go in. I might be thinking blaster, but there is no handle to this one. And so now that we're all loaded up, we can play a little bit with that new sound brick. Classic transformation sound. Classic Autobot sound. Well, I'm probably getting 10, 15, maybe even 20 sound effects. Really satisfying they could pack in that many sounds to the sound brick. That is going to become handy over the generations, as I'm sure we're going to see more sets with that brick. I'd love to see Jurassic World use it, and I'd love to see Minecraft use it too. There's so many possibilities with that sound brick. Just a great, fun, quirky design of Soundwave today. Lots of customization, especially with the double tapes, again with the eyes. Referencing the original toy had the yellow eyes, whereas on show he had red eyes. That's the difference. There we go, yellow eyes on a G1 toy, but red in show. Just all that fun LEGO custom stuff that make Transformers and LEGO a perfect fit together. And so guess what? After building Soundwave, I finally took the time to take a look at Transformers Optimus Prime, the very first LEGO Transformers build from way back in 2022. Set number 10302, 1,508 pieces. What a tragedy that it took me this long to build this up on channel. Because of his immense build, he probably got awkwardly bumped out by some weird awkward video like Hexbug the movie that nobody watched this summer, or some other odd review that I flipped on in instead of working on this beauty. As an Optimus Prime collector though, I really have no excuse. So Soundwave gave me the excuse while building Soundwave, I built Optimus Prime with my feet. What? No, just kidding. I got the family together over at the dinner table, and we each took a chunk. I worked on the torso, and Lazy Kitty 10K and Ben Ultra worked out all the rest of the pieces. So right now we are in a fantastic vehicle mode, which is pretty much in scale size-wise with the cassette deck player we just built with the Soundwave. They're very similar in scale and size because they're basically the exact amount of pieces. And for their first go-around, this is clean. This is really clean. I've seen worse Optimus Primes from Hasbro. So they've got him looking really well done. And I think maybe it's well done just because it's mirroring, again, the simplicity of the original Transformer. I've got my G1 Prime right here. Well, my G2 Prime, excuse me. That was my first Prime. I was never able to obtain one way back in the day. Way back in the day. But they basically use some of the same transformation features, which I personally like on a Prime. It makes him really quick and easy and fun to transform. So let's give him a quick go, see if I can get this going. Let's remove his cannon off the back. Look at that blaster, even has the gray shading in the back there. Then, let's see, where do we go next? I guess we can kind of prep him in different ways. We can lift up this grill area here so that we can kind of get his arms in position. And just like a G1, you can kind of swing these arms on out and start having them at the ready. I'm pretty sure some people have done some really cool stop motion with this guy. He just has that, like, stability for some good stop-mo. And then maybe the trickiest part here, kind of standing up. Let's see if we can ratchet up those wheels, his legs on those lower torso wheels. Breaking apart the feet there, doing that Optimus Primal spin of the lower torso, and getting those feet standing. Then search for Optimus Prime's head. There we go, up on top. And let's kind of get his arms where they need to be. Little bit of panel tucking with that front piece here, getting them in between the wheels. And there's a couple sticker switch outs for that grill, or for that bumper to kind of go from robot to vehicle. I'll just leave it like that. I think it stands out well. And so after a little bit of off-screen fidgeting and or my entire torso just blew off, I have got Optimus Prime into robot mode. Surprisingly fragile inside this main torso area. A little bit better with Soundwave as they've learned some things. A Central Technic spine post might have really helped too. I'm getting some breakaway issues here in the lower tummy. And also a very huge bot, a little bit taller than Soundwave at 14 inches. Might be those Prime ears. Extra accessories to add on in. He's got his Power Energon axe. A small little Energon cube, which actually probably would have seemed more appropriate for Soundwave. Plus over on his back we can snap on his jetpack. That might give him a little more stability back there. And of course, he has the matrix of leadership inside his chest. So yay, what a Prime. I finally got to build Prime and get him up on my Optimus Prime display. Now I just have to decide on, is it worth going for the series and picking up a Bumblebee as well? I'm kind of saying probably not, just because as cool as it is to see a LEGO Transformers series, I'm kind of a purist and kind of just want to pick up just Transformers as Transformers and just LEGO sets as LEGO sets, if that makes sense. And these take up a lot of space, and I do not have much space. So I'll probably hold off on Bumblebee. It'll be interesting what other choices they go on into the future. Many of the Decepticons are often war machines. Maybe they'll pick a fancy Autobot or something next. Perceptor would be really fun. A microscope Autobot, that's what I would say do next. Like with the first ever magnifying brick. So now I gotta ask, what is next for LEGO builds? Large scale, should I work with the LEGO Minecraft Enderman Tower? This thing is incredibly cool, a tall sculpture build of an Enderman. Or the LEGO Netflix One Piece set, the Going Merry pirate ship. If you're a big One Piece fan like I am, well, not so much the Netflix, but so the cartoon, you can see the Going Merry is finally here. So which one do I do though? Going Merry or the Enderman Tower? Well, if you liked today's video, please give us a swag, squirrelive, squamment your favorite, most interesting thing of the Soundwave build or Prime, or should I get to that Bumblebee? Thank you so much for watching. Here's some videos YouTube recommends. That's what I have to say about that.